Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host
Chip in the
Chip.
house.
What's going on? We got a great show tonight. We got a lot of great people bouncing in to the On the Chain chat here. But XRP is a currency, a utility token. Get this, something that you guys probably haven't heard of yet, but the SEC is on a witch hunt, going after Ripple, going after Coinbase, going after Robinhood. Is there ever going to be an end in sight? Because all three of those organizations are getting in the big, you know what? And man, we gotta dig into this stuff because there's some other interesting projects that are going on as well. Man, you ready to kick this thing off?
Let's get this puppy started, man.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain. Welcome back, Jeff. Jeff, welcome back.
Welcome.
I gotta say, Jeff, it's so good to be with the living. I can't explain it to you. It's like being with the living again is so much better than being with the dead.
It definitely is. Quick shout out to Tony Morissette.
Tony, what's up? What's up, brother? Good to see you,
Shout
man.
out.
I appreciate all the nice shout outs last night.
Really cool. We got James Rule XRP. The SEC is grabbing that. It's a 4-letter word. I'll take a vowel for you, please.
Yeah, well, I want to start it off right with this because when we're talking about the SEC, Jeff, I like when somebody steps up to the plate and says, "Yeah, I'll see you, and I'll raise you, and I will throat punch you. Then I will take your ass to the ground. I'll take it to the mat. Look, check this out." Thanks, heads up to Adam Kilpatrick, our Aussie buddy from down under, who I love his channel and I love his farm and everything, and he and his wife do a great show. But look at this right here. Let's just tear this down a little bit. He said, well, it looks like Coinbase made their choice. Welcome to the good fight. And that's very well said. Algorand Rewards now live on Coinbase. Looks like they pulled the trigger on that. Get 4% APY on your crypto. They said, we don't care. We are going through with it. And tonight, Jeff, we've got I got to tell you, once again, Rosalind Layton, who's like just a superstar writer, one of our favorites in the space, and she kind of makes this comparison, like they're picking winners and losers. How come Aave or AAV, I don't know how you pronounce it, Aave, how come they're okay to swing through, but you got to go picking on Coinbase, right? So,
that's it, man. You know what? I've had Tezos over on Coinbase staked and earning interest on that for a while, and that's. Coinbase has said that they've been doing this for a while. They've had a few assets. People are earning some interest. Now they're going big time. They want to bring in the USDC. They want to do some of the others. And the SEC, they're out of their minds with that. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, Gary Gensler is a fool. Number one, let's just start it off with Gary Gensler is a fool. He's going to go before tomorrow in the Senate Banking Committee. We're going to find out exactly what he's made of. But I can't wait for someone like Cynthia Lummis to start questioning him, or let's see, Pat Toomey. These are like people that are really in the know of crypto, and I want to see them hold the feet to the fire, not the it's super clear and it's an investment contract and it's based on the efforts of others, Listen, I guarantee you right now, Jeff, I will make this prediction right now. If there was a chance for Mr. Gensler to find out who Satoshi Nakamoto is, let's say Satoshi comes out, takes a bow, hello everybody, waves to the crowd. Tomorrow, you will expect papers sitting on Satoshi's desk, Nakamoto's desk, taking him to the mat because
shut it down.
Shut it down. Okay. Shut it down. We gotta shut it down.
Hey, wouldn't it be crazy if after all of this, it comes out that Gensler is Satoshi?
He's not possible. He doesn't have an understanding of crypto. That's his first problem. His first problem is he doesn't understand.
But he taught at MIT.
Oh, that's forgetting about that. That's right. He reminds us of that all the time. I taught a course at MIT. You know what I'm saying, my chickadees? Yeah. That's kind of how he reminds me, like, of a new version. Who was that dude that used to say "my chickadees"? W.C. Field. He was just like he had that big red nose because he was hammered all the time, and he was like, who knows what he was doing? He was trouncing through Hollywood, and he's like, my chickadees, and he was just 24/7 on the juice. This is like a Gensler. Gensler's so intoxicated with his own nuttiness.
Right.
I mean, he's just
insane.
intoxicated, man.
Man, it's insane. Insane. Hey, I'm going to give a quick shout out to somebody that's in the room.
Come on, man, Berserker.
Berserker.
Miss you, Berserker. We love you, Berserker. Berserker. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. I think we're going to get some good questions. I'm actually feeling somewhat optimistic. We're going to get some from the Senate Banking Committee. I think we'll get some good questions. But a lot of times what he likes to venture into is the weeds about just derivatives, and he goes off on these tangents when what's at hand and what the SEC is doing by chasing all these other people off. Entrepreneurs.
He lives in the weeds.
Well, he's
like James James Rule XRP. What is up? 589 to you too. XRP is a security Gensler. I can tip an XRP. Here's proof. It's not a security. That's a so yesterday we came up with his mafia name, right? Gensler the nose. So now it's just it's a whole new name. It's just XRP is a security Gensler. That's his new name over there.
That's his new nickname.
XRP is a security Gensler. So Jared Brown. So XRP is the global bridge currency, and Harmony One is blockchain bridge.
Yeah, I like Harmony One. Harmony One's a good project. Put a lot of thought and energy into that project too. There's a lot of great stuff out there, but what I've really learned not to anymore is chase pumps. This one's going up, and the crowd runs over here, and then everybody runs back over here. It's like no, you do your research, you invest in your projects, and some people that works for them. It's just not a strategy that works well for me, for the long term. But again, I hold a lot of digital assets as you do, Jeff, and I'm optimistic about a bunch of them. I think that there's going to be a lot of room in the space for some, especially in the XRP side. I mean, it really is an underrated currency right now, and the price in no way reflects anywhere where this should be. This should be a $10, $15 right now minimal sort of an offering, but we'll get there. I think we'll get there sooner than a lot of people think. And I know it's frustrating having to talk about this lawsuit and everything, but you know what? It was a necessary evil. And I think at the end of the day, we're gonna plow through with a little bit of clarity. And by the way, Jeff, that's a sharp looking shirt you got on right there.
You like that? You know where I got it?
I think you got it at the OTC merch store.
That's right. I got this at the OTC merch store, and you know where you can find that link? Down below in the description. It's a really cool thing to check out. Man, I'll tell you what. So here you got, SEC is a security Gensler. He's going after, there's this witch hunt going on, right? Going after Ripple. That was the starting point. Go after Ripple. And everybody said, look, that's not the end. It's not the end all be all. The SEC is going after Ripple because their intent is to start going after other projects. Lo and behold, they go after Coinbase. Lo and behold, they're going after the actual structure that Robinhood uses to bring in free trades.
Right.
But now what we're seeing is a major pushback on all levels. So you've got Brian Armstrong pushing back. You've got Brad Garlinghouse pushing back. And now you've even got the Robinhood guys. The chief legal officer over at Robinhood comes out and says, the SEC is never going to ban, what is it called? Payment flow, pay flow.
Payment flow. That's how they're able to
payment for order flow.
Yeah, that's how they're able to bypass the fees and stuff like that.
Right. So there's a little bit of, payment on the back end, when the transactions happen. But so what? People are happy. They got big smiles on their face, people that use Robinhood. But there's some concern now. Who knows what's going on? What's exactly happening? But this is the SEC comes out, their big statement, they're in favor of the retail investor. But you know what? For the first time, you've seen some major corporations fighting back for those retail investors. One is Robinhood. Obviously, they're making a shit ton of money. But they're saying, hey, our entire community are retail investors. So if you guys single us out and you penalize them, we don't make money. They don't make money. Coinbase said the same thing. They don't make money. We don't make money. You guys are screwing everybody in the picture. And man, and Ripple is all about movement of money.
Exactly.
They're helping people all over the place.
And I think, Jeff, I want to call a greater attention to what's happening in the world, because I want to recognize everybody here tonight that's listening. Even if you're listening on the replay, I want to commend you. And the reason I want to do that is because you're not going to lay down. You're not going to roll over. You're not going to be, when someone says jump, you're not going to say how high. You'll decide when in time it's ready for you to jump. But what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a global flow happening here, right? And I'm seeing it from these governments on the overreach of what they're trying to do to their citizenry. And the citizenry's out there, they're protesting, they're doing what they're doing, and they're like, no, you're not going to take your thumb and you're not going to smash my face down. We're not going to let it happen. And what people are starting to realize, and I think what it's going to start bubbling over in the investor community as well, what we're starting to realize is that we, the people, have all the power. We are the majority, they are the minority. They don't have anything without us. And so what's happening globally is everybody is coming to their feet. Everybody's saying, hey, this doesn't work for me. This is how it's going to go. This is how we said it's going to go. And I'm starting to see in a lot of different countries all over the world where this pervasive thought pattern is winning. So don't let up. If you're out there on Twitter, you let Gary Gensler have it at any moment. When he gets dragged into the Senate Banking Committee, they let him have it. And when you have assets, and when things are on the line like this, Robinhood's not putting up with it. These companies are going to fight. You know who's fighting harder on behalf of you? Coinbase is fighting harder. You know who else is fighting? Robinhood's fighting harder. You know who's fighting for you? Ripple's fighting for you. You know who's not representing you? The SEC. It's a bunch of garbage for them to be talking about the fact that we're really looking out for the investors. They're not. They're not looking out for the investors. They don't care about the investors. They're an enforcement arm. This is how they operate. This is how they've chosen to operate. And their lead chump, Gary Gensler, thinks he's Mr. Cop, and he's gonna go down. The best thing about chumps, they go down. You know how they go down? They go down pretty hard. And when he loses this Ripple case, it's going to be through nobody else's problem except his own, and he will go down as the chair that lost it all. And I can't wait for that.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's and like you said, when they go down hard, they're definitely going down hard, and it's beautiful because there's going to be a whole pack of them. It's kind of watching, when you watch the bike races. So you've got their group right now. They're in that pack of bikes, and then one of them's going to trip, and they're going to trip bad enough to where nothing's there to save them. The media is not going to be there. No one's going to be there, and they're going to fall, and their whole pack of bikes going to go down with them. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Jared Brown over here. He said, invest in connected, smart people, and your chances of success go up. And that's so spot on, because Chip, that's one of the things that we've said a lot. When you look at your projects and you say, hey, you know what? That project is backed by some smart people, right? Now you could say, I want to invest in those smart people, and then if we're waiting for them to act and build, that could be classified as a security. But if we look at this differently from a perspective that the projects, right, you're investing in that project and you see the people involved in that project, that it's got legs, that it's going someplace, and that bears a lot of significance.
The only way it could be considered as security is if it was based on the efforts of what they did. Now,
well, that's the point. Yeah, exactly.
And your point is more spot on, Jeff, because if they actually build something that's designed to go a certain way and that token is decentralized, well, look, I mean, they could do great things. It doesn't necessarily, it's not going to move the price or what happens to that token because it is decentralized. I wanted to put this up, Jay. Where's my tweet from Jay here? Yeah, he said, I just tagged you in a short Kathy Woods. I actually have a Kathy Woods that Jeff and I have ready to go where she talks about Gensler. So it might be the same clip you tagged me in, but I do have something ready to go.
Yep.
So, but before we do that, Jeff, I wouldn't mind jumping into a little bit of this Rosalind Layton article here, where she says it's time to end the SEC's clarity charade on crypto. God bless America and the entire world collectively, because
Good.
she nailed it once again. And you know what I like about the picture? It perfectly demonstrates the SEC, which is a clown show. They don't even look as good as these clowns, but they're all clowns. And I will say, I am now vigorously defending Hester Pierce, because she's the only one in the entire SEC that gets it. And I felt like she's been relegated as like a side charm, and I don't like that at all. But look at how appropriate it is. She starts out with, for 5 years, investors and project developers in the 2 trillion blockchain innovation space have been subjected to an increasingly maddening charade that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is called regulatory clarity. Jeff, we looked at that last night. What clarity?
Zero clarity.
Exactly. There is no clarity. So she's like, years of SEC speeches, public statements, meeting records, correspondence, firsthand accounts from market participants provide anything but clarity for the rules of the digital asset or distributed ledger technology, MDLT projects. This is another financial crisis in the making. And she's making an interesting point here, Jeff, because it's at the hands of our so-called regulators, who don't have any clarity, who can't provide any clarity. And quite honestly, it's not the SEC's duty to provide the clarity. But the CFTC said it best when they said, hey, you know what? We're the ones that are going to regulate it because they're non-securities. And so they can't even agree that it's that a decentralized asset. And that's what I want to get into that. I want to get into where I think Kathy Wood's partially right and Kathy Wood is partially wrong. And I don't usually say that too often, because I think she's usually 100% spot on. But Gensler said at the Aspen Institute appearance this summer that the rules are awfully clear in crypto. We played that last night. And a recent interview with the Financial Times, he urged developers to talk to us, come on in. And Stuart Adirati put that tweet out, Jeff, where he said, you told us to come in and talk to you. We talked to you. You told us when we're going to engage in some sort of a with another company like a MoneyGram, we're telling you we're going to give them XRP. You know they're going to sell that on the secondary market, and yet doesn't matter. So few can see the clarity, but it's absent so acute that even the biggest U.S. companies in the blockchain industry, they can't count on the SEC for any clear guidance, because there is no clear guidance. And this Howey test, Jeff, how do we put everything into the investment contract of the Howey test? It doesn't all fit.
No, it's becoming, it's I'm looking at some of the chat, but it's definitely a clown show, and so, Devon was saying, clowns,
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah,
clowns or faceless bureaucrats. I think they're a little bit of both. You got the faceless bureaucrats, and then you got the clowns. It's a clown show. So it's amazing, because you want to keep, putting something that never existed, before 2009, 2010. But so we're looking at a new asset class that's developed and grown over the past 10, 11 years. And they're then trying to package it nicely into laws that were designed and developed before there were computers.
Exactly
and so, a lot of the companies, look at even a lot of the high tech companies to go through the internet boom and all of that. The overall aspect of the company and product fit nicely in this little package that could fit the Howey test. Now, all of a sudden, you have a brand new asset class, and they're trying to take this brand new asset and then plug it into something that doesn't even pertain to it. It no longer holds any bearing. It doesn't have any relevancy. However, there are some companies out there where you could, if you had a very clear project that rolled out a token, an asset, and sold it as a fragment of their company or a part of their company, where the idea of the token valuation would go up as their company was more successful, or it lost value when they weren't.
Right.
That's a direct security, and it still fits all those other models. It's just very clear. But the idea of the assets and just everything, it's it doesn't hold any water, and it's like we're broken records. Like every night, something else comes out, and you're like, how is this even possible? Didn't we just discuss this for the past 3 months? and yet they come out and do something, stupid again.
Same.
They're doubling down, tripling down. I feel like since January, it's just been we're caught in that Groundhog's Day moment. But it's like every day is a little bit different, but exactly the same. A little bit different, but exactly the same, right?
Hey, Ned, every day. It's like, so Kathy Spikuza says, Gensler's protecting his cronies. It kind of looks that way, right? It kind of has that sort of appearance where he seems to be really protecting it as well. And we're going to jump into this too, but Dean says, Aave was called Ethereum Lend and developed by the Ethereum founders. They changed the name because the SEC was promoting Ethereum and its app, so Coinbase competition is not going to be allowed. So, okay, again, this is what we want to dig into because, Dean, that's a spot on point. It does have that impropriety, right? The fact that it's like, wait a minute, we're picking winners and losers. This one's okay to go through, but this one over here. And if we look at the principles, and this is where I think Kathy Wood gets it wrong in the video, where she's missing one of the bigger steps in this whole sort of an argument. But I wanted to roll along a little bit further on this. It says, so seeking clarity, Coinbase got a slap down. Last week, CEO of the crypto exchange, Brian Armstrong, tweeted an account that's now alarmingly familiar. Other crypto companies have been offering lending products for customers to hold digital assets. The only publicly listed exchange in the U.S. wanted to do the same. So Coinbase took Gensler's advice. They went in. They approached the SEC for guidance. And if you remember, Jeff, I think it was you that were the one that pulled it out that Armstrong went to go meet with them, and he kind of blew him off. Wasn't there something along the lines where he tried to go meet with them? And
yeah, we talked about that, and they brought it up. I mean, they've had multiple requests into them about the project, and it's not like it was something new. I mean, regardless, I mean, you think about the insanity of it. They just went public not that long ago. So think about the scrutiny that they've had to go through and presenting some of their future projects that they're going to be rolling out. So you don't just come up with this idea overnight that, hey, by the way, we're going to expand our interest program. I'm sure that was a topic of discussion, by the SEC when they were discussing the rollout of their security when they went public. So it's like, come on. I mean, it's getting to a point where it all seems like a major smokescreen, and the SEC is throwing all sorts of shit at the wall, and they just want to see what sticks. And they don't care, who gets caught up in the collateral damage, because they're just going to keep attacking. And it's insane stuff that they're going after, but it's almost like, it's not insane, but it seems like very malicious. Let's put it that way. Yeah. It's like they have malicious intent. Like the SEC should be there to protect the retail investor. The SEC should be there to single out a corporation and say, okay, here's where you're abusing the retail investor, not to try to figure out, some crack in their armor to where they can take down the company. That's not their objective. But with Robinhood, the pay to order, that it's kind of, or the pay to order flow is kind of crazy. Like, why would you single out the one thing that makes Robinhood successful? Why would you do that? Right. Is it hurting anybody? Did anybody get hurt with that idea? Nobody got hurt. Same thing with Coinbase. Is anybody getting hurt with interest? Nobody's getting hurt. So it's like, come on, it's old already.
Well, look at this. This is it. They approached the SEC for guidance on the project. Armstrong says the SEC responded with subpoenas for records and depositions. Right. Demanded a list of all their clients, and then they gave them a Wells notice, which is a warning of some sort of an impending enforcement action that's forthcoming from what the hell? Come in and see us. I'm Gary the Nose Gensler. Come in and see us. Well, have a conversation with us. Why? So you can throat punch us. They try to talk to you about this, and then this is how you treat an organization who is arguably one of the largest exchanges, at least in the United States, and did all the things right, dotted the I's, crossed the T's, went public the proper way. And guess what? It's like, why did they ever delist XRP? You kind of have to ask yourself, Was there a reason
Right.
that they delisted it? For what
But-
reason? They tried
Well,
to.
I'm sure, but that also, remember when they delisted XRP or put it on pause was right around the time they were
Yeah.
going public.
That's true.
So they were trying to make nice with the SEC and show, here, we're going to do things your way. We want to work with you. And even in his 20 tweet storm, he said, we still want to work. It's not like they're, trying to spite the regulatory body. They want to work with a regulatory body, but it's the exact opposite. When he said there's something, a little shady going on at the SEC, because it's the SEC regulatory body that is singling out companies and doing something a little nefarious. There's something behind their motivation. And that's what people are no longer trusting. It's like, how do you trust the regulatory bodies when they always seem to be on the offense against the people? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you kind of reach a point of no return. It's kind of a zero-sum game, because at the end of the day, those guys that are doing it aren't going to win. And in the meantime, you've got those that are being penalized are suffering because of their action. So it's just like, it just makes no sense. I mean, that's not what they're there for. I say
Right.
fire them all.
And it's almost like everyone's gone crazy town. It's like if you're a politician, you're like, hey, I feel great today. You get to be a politician tomorrow and you turn into crazy town. And, and Rosalind Layton points out something. She talks about Coinbase. They're not, it's not the first case where the SEC's picking winners and losers with its regulation by enforcement. And that's really what it is. Let's regulate by enforcing some action that you knew nothing about. The breathtaking case with the SEC Ripple Labs exposed the incoherence of the SEC's concept of clarity. Agency argues that XRP, the native digital currency used by Ripple and other companies, it's open source, it's not a decentralized ledger. It's been an unregistered security since it was introduced in 2013. And the company and its executives and every investor in the market should have known it. And this is exactly why their argument is so sad. And this is why someone like, thank God for a Hester Pierce and Roisman coming out on that one action in July and basically saying, hey, we don't know. So, but the SEC commissioners don't know, but that's cool. Ripple and every investor that invested in XRP should have somehow known, right?
But hey, you saw the other day on Coinbase Pro, XRP was relisted for a moment in time.
Yeah, it was
that?
It was a small moment in time.
Yeah, there was a small moment in time. It got relisted, and they said it was a technical error. And I look at, if you can, accidentally have a technical error that relists an asset, what does that tell you? That means that there's something going on with their platform. There's no way anything's going on with their platform. No. There's no way they're going to have a technical glitch that accidentally lists a currency, because I'm sure that, if they're working on adding new currencies, they've got some sitting in the sidelines. They've got the software all set up. And that means that if you can have a technical glitch that accidentally relists a currency, that means you can have a technical glitch that accidentally delists a currency. It doesn't just work in one way, right? You're going to have technical glitches, and then you're going to have other technical glitches. You can't just have one that happens to target the one asset, no other assets, just the one asset. It's XRP. So either, there's technical problems, or they were hacked, or there's something else going on where they're like, I wonder how, they're already working on the relist, and they accidentally relisted a little bit too soon. That's what I think. I think it was in the works. They're getting ready, and they accidentally relisted it.
Yeah, and it's probably closer to the truth. You don't just accidentally, oh wow, did that accidentally get relisted? Look, it takes some action from a human, unless they said, on this date, relist it. And it's unlikely that something like that would happen. But Layton pulls. She says Clayton provided no guidance other to keep talking to his staff. And the lawsuit came in December 2020 and not only charged the company with 7 years of unregistered security trades, but the executives were recklessly aiding and abetting those trades and demanding billions of dollars in fines. The action sent XRP plunging, setting off a panic selling mode, and wiped out $15 billion of value. And this is what people are missing. This is what Gensler's missing. The fact that how are you protecting the investor? $15 billion like that off the table.
Those
split second.
Those clowns, they don't care. They really don't care. Because 15 billion for them. You're
Wait, does
talking about
DBC
government.
got wiped?
That's what E-Rockin' for Rockin' over here says. YouTube wiped Dusty BC's channel for exposing in real time. We'll have
don't
to
know
look
what
that up.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
that's crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, it's and then Hans Loaded was saying that I was live streaming when it was going down. That's right, because I had people pinging me saying, "What's going on in CoinMarketCap? Look at CoinMarketCap. Look at Coinbase." Like, go on Coinbase.
Yeah.
XRP was glitching at 81, 82 cents, and we're like, "Holy crap, it's glitching!" And then we go over to CoinGecko, and it's like $1.30 or whatever it was at. And we're like, what's going on? And that was the glitch on CoinMarketCap pulling out of Coinbase. So obviously, hang on. So it says here the CoinMarketCap API was messed up for a few hours. So it's throwing things off. But it was Coinbase Pro that increased the valuation, so there was like, or relisted it, which pushed it up. So there was something was going on. It's crazy to say that one asset glitched on all these platforms. I forgot about that fact, that it was glitching all over the place. That was the craziest thing. But it was down to like 81, 82 cents. So, is that the SEC coming in and trying to take over?
I don't know, Jeff, but she correctly calls out Vitalik Buterin, who arranged the sale of the 500,000 Ether to hedge fund investor Mike Novogratz, which he profusely has up and down. Thank you to Mike Novogratz. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't sell it personally. Oh, no, not me, Vitalik. I didn't do it. It was the Ethereum Foundation." It doesn't matter. You can call it what you want. It looks an awful lot like an ICO sale. And that was in 2015, which Buterin credited himself as guaranteed the platform's financial survival. This meant there were centralized sales of huge quantities of Ether with an expectation of a profit from the speculative investors who bought it. And for them, and for someone like a Hinman to give that a pass and say, "Wow, I mean, and then go after Ripple." This is the hypocrisy that we're sick and tired of, Jeff. And this is what we're all sick and tired of listening to and dealing with and putting up with, because that smelled really bad. And the fact of the matter is, when Gensler says there's a lot of clarity, well, there was an expectation of profit. There was an expectation of profit on that because it was a coin sale.
That's it, man. I was just thinking this crazy thought. Imagine if we were all in the position of Ethereum. But imagine XRP was sitting at $3,500 right now, right?
Oh, God!
And Hinman, and Hinman was just like, it might have been a security once, but it no longer is. And XRP. What would the XRP community say about Ethereum if the Ethereum Foundation was now in the target, in the spotlight of the SEC, and they're coming after Ethereum? But XRP is the one sitting pretty, with everybody I'm just wondering, if you reverse the roles, how people would respond to that. Would they be like, too bad, sucks for you guys in Ethereum. You guys should have been an XRP. Or I see the XRP community being a little more above all that. And they'd be like, "Hey, you know what? This makes no sense. We're going to be there in the trenches with the Ethereum Foundation guys, and we're going to be fighting alongside them to make sure that the ship is righted."
Yeah, and you could go back there certainly and say, you know what? Okay, yeah, it certainly did look like. Now, that's where the SEC could go after the Ethereum Foundation and say, yeah, back in 2015, it absolutely looks like you sold an unregistered security. Okay, because that's kind of what happened. There was no decentralized network. There was no coin. There was this sort of promise of some type of a profit. And this is where I think that. But I think all of us could see that at some point, ETH became decentralized, right? And again, if that's the natural flow of how it worked, it certainly happened that way a lot quicker for XRP. But the way the SEC is positioning their argument is that there's no use case outside of Ripple. It's just not true. And James Rule proves it time and time again. That it's not a security. There's no way in hell it's a security, and there are multiple use cases for it. So I wanted to read this right here from XRP Speedball. Thank you for that. He says, I wonder if Gary's pulling an all-nighter study session for tomorrow, like one of his previous students. Now, if he was smart, he probably would, but he's going to do a lot of hemming and hawing at the SEC, and he's going to read a note. At the SEC, we protect investors. That's our core mission. He's going to.
I was going to say, yeah. I think he's going to default to that, Chip. I don't think, he's gonna pull an all-nighter, and he's also not allowed to have a cheat sheet, in his big exam when he gets up in front of the people, unlike some other individual elected official that every time he gets out there, he's got his cheat sheet, even in front in person.
We're talking about scrambled egg brain.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought we were talking about.
He did it again. I was watching him again. I was watching this section. He's over someplace and they cut the feed, and you can see he keeps looking down and looking up. Reading. I'm like, come on, enough already. Enough with the reading. We're not reading. We're going off the cuff right now.
Well, sometimes we are. Sometimes we are reading though, Jeff. There are times we are reading, but right this moment. Right this moment, we're generating it on the fly. Hang on a second, Jeff. Let me read my hand. We are generating this thing naturally. There is no coercion or things that we are supposed to say. Okay, now look at the camera, smile, and walk away. You know what I mean? So, and she then rightfully calls out Hinman, delivered a speech saying ETH wasn't a security, because putting aside the fundraising, it had decentralized over time. Okay, so that same argument doesn't transfer. This is the stupidity of the SEC. This is where I don't care what happens in this lawsuit, but I will tell you that they will poke the holes in it and they will pull the stuff up the light. And then Hinman came out, well, I was personal opinions and this and that. Well, yeah. A lot of personal opinions, but a lot of people got rich, like Mike Novogratz and a lot of the big time investors who went in on the right asset and had the sort of SEC sort of sitting over here tapping them with the go. Everything was fine there, Jeff. There was not a big much of a deal there. But again, Jeff, what do we always say on this show? Follow the money.
Follow the money. Hey, Jimmy the Meek is late.
Jamie again.
40 minutes.
Give him a demerit and send him down to the office. No, it's okay, Jimmy. You come in when you can, man. We appreciate your support. So why was Ethereum blessed while its rival Ripple was sued, right? And then why did Coinbase get a Wells notice while lenders like built into the Ethereum platform, they just got a pass? Jesse Powell, CEO of Coinbase's rival Kraken, tweeted a response to Armstrong that regulators are beating down good actors because it's convenient. And he asked,
well, that's it. That's it right there, Chip. That underscore that point. It's convenient, and that comes from the article that I pulled up again yesterday that I'd covered before. But the idea that the SEC and Gary XRP is a security Gensler, the fact that they're targeting these companies because they're uncomfortable with it. They're uncomfortable. They're becoming emotional, and I'm reading some people have been posting, the three main ways of moving in the direction of more government control and Marxism. And one of them is where they emotionalize everything, and so here you go. Instead of making your decisions based on fact, you're going to make it based on emotion while you're destroying people's livelihoods. It's perfect. It's like, it's just beautiful.
There's just one last thing that I want to hit here because she totally nails this. She talks about, so we talked about Gensler showing up for the Senate Banking Committee tomorrow. She says, is actual oversight going to happen at the SEC regulation by enforcement? Will senators challenge him on the clarity charade? And it is a charade. Will Congress legislate if Gensler refuses to act? Many angry and frustrated people, American employers, investors, voters, we're not going to wait much longer. The SEC is supposed to provide clear and ambiguous rules throughout a transparent process. This lack of clarity has created a financial crisis before, and it can happen again. And it's a brilliant article. I mean, she totally nails it every single time. But let's call it out for what it is. It's a charade, and this is where I want like a Cynthia Lummis, and I don't care any of the senators. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Hammer him. What are you talking about? There's clarity. How are you trying to fit things into it's like, can you imagine they have some old 75-year-old case over in Canada, because Canada has called XRP a currency, and rightfully so. And I really love the approach of the UK. Look, it can be one of three prongs, or it could be all of three prongs, right? It either
that
has
was a great one.
to me, I like their approach a lot because I find it refreshing. I find the way they look at it and said, hey, it could be a, it could have a utility token, it could have but it also could be a security too. So there's like, depending on what sort of a prong it could be a currency, could have a use case, or it could have both, or it could be a security of some kind. And this is sort of the process that I think we need to stick more with, Jeff.
No, I agree. I think it's really good. Hey, now that you're on that, just some positive news over here. Wanted to bring this up real quick. Hang on one second.
Bring it on, man. I love positive news. We all love it, Jeff. Bring it.
Oops. Push in. Let's see. Here we go. Hey, can anybody read this?
Looks good to me. Looks positive.
It's very positive.
That's
very,
the telltale.
very positive.
Well, I have it in English too. It's in there.
No, I know. It's right here. It's right here. I just thought I would click on it. It's very cool.
Funny.
So this is really great because here you have an exchange over in Japan that delisted that is now relisting starting September 22nd. Now, the question that I have, Chip, why did they delist it? Is this Taotao anywhere in the United States? Did Japan as an overall whole, or Katal, or any of those guys, did any of them say delist XRP or stop pushing forward with ODL or anything like that? Did that happen? But Taotao, check this out. Besides, on September 1, the managing company of Taotao merged with SBI. There you go. Now you wonder, a crypto exchange affiliated with SBI Group, a major partner of Ripple Labs. So one of the conditions when they merged was, hey, guess what you guys are going to be doing in a couple weeks? So like, what are we going to be doing? You're going to be relisting XRP. That's what you're going to be doing, because Katal and the SBI Group, they know what's going on. And this Taotao, they're like, why'd you guys delist it? It makes no sense. You're in Japan. You're not in Gary the Nose's district over there.
Gary Gensler, the Nose. Well, I think also too, I remember Crypto Eddie pointing to that either weeks ago. She's always, because obviously she's our pulse with anything having to do with Japan. So she was kind of all over that too. But yeah, it makes a tremendous amount of sense. Now I want to play this Kathy Wood clip right here, Jeff. I want to listen in because I want to get your thoughts on it first, and then I'll kind of weigh in on it. But she does bring up, and Gary, Jay, let me know if this is the same clip that you had tagged me on. So let's listen in.
Currency, specifically Bitcoin, will work.
Yes. I think regulators, our working assumption from the beginning was that, and this was based on meeting with them, meeting regulators, both state and local and federal, was that no regulator wanted to be blamed from preventing the next big technology breakthrough to happen in the U.S. And that has proven true. Now we've got... I
got a second, Jeff. I got to call BS right there. That's proven to be patently false right there, Kathy Wood. I love you to death, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not proved to be true, where regulators didn't want to overstep because they were worried about crushing business. Where am I wrong, Jeff?
That's a good one. I mean, outwardly, they all come out and say, we want to keep promoting innovation. So the misstep here isn't a misstep. We're seeing the SEC and Gensler misstep multiple times now. Whatever Hinman did, whatever Clayton did, they're gone. They're out. And it was never this bad. It was never as bad as it's been under Gensler. They were dabbling, finagling a little bit, Ethereum's this. They didn't take any action. There wasn't anything nefarious going on that's shooting other people down. No. But now, man, I'll tell you what, hey, Hans is saying it. I think we need to let's get Gensler on the line here. Get some commentary. Let's get some direct commentary from Kathy, from Gensler on Kathy Wood's thing. Let me dial them up real quick and let them tune in. Let me dial 00 for Gensler. All right,
yeah, dial 0 for Gensler, because that's exactly what he is, a giant zero.
Let's have him listen in. All right, Gary. We're gonna start.
Here we go. Here we go.
Chairman Gary Gensler, I'm really happy he understands crypto and understands the merits of Bitcoin in particular. He is a regulator, though, and he's a hardcore regulator.
Okay, so that part, so I kind of see what she's doing, and I agree with her strategy here. You don't want to call somebody out if you're in the public and you're like a legend like Kathy Wood is. He said, "I'm glad he understands Bitcoin." Well, yeah, he understands Bitcoin. Yes, he understands a little bit, but he is missing a lot of what crypto. And she says, "Let's get it straight. He's a regulator."
So regulator, man. Every time we talk about the regulators, remember that movie Young Guns? That's all I could think about.
I think about the band. I think about the band, The Regulars. I love that band, by the way. It's a great band. What a great lead singer.
What Coinbase did, I mean, I was shocked when I saw Wells notice. Are you kidding? They haven't even released the product. Like, what is this? And I think what that Wells notice is doing, it's a call out by regulators saying, we got to discuss this stuff because this is happening very quickly. And I think we are going to bring courts into the system. This happened in Canada. A company called 3iQ sued the regulator there and won in court. So they were able to issue Bitcoin ETFs and closed-end funds and Ether as well. So I am beginning to think that Coinbase doesn't mind this at all. And if you saw the stock reaction, it hardly budged. Right?
But Jeff, here's the thing about that, though. So, but by going and having the conversation, even Kathy, I'm not sure she 100%. You don't say, well, here's a Wells notice. Here's an impending, some sort of a enforcement action. Whoa. We're having a conversation here. It's like, hey, Jeff, it's like, you walk in, you had talk to somebody like, hey, how you doing? And someone, they pull a gun. And you're like, dude, I'm saying hello. Why are we getting to that? Why is there going to be a Wells notice, which is an impending, you're basically saying we are putting you on notice that there is a coming sort of an infraction.
And we want you to shut it down. Yeah. I would have to agree to disagree with her on this one. She's extremely intelligent. She knows a lot about picking stocks, even though a lot of the ARK funds are way down so far this year.
Yeah. Well,
not so happy with everything down. Fidelity, the Fidelities that I'm in are doing really well. The ARKs I'm in, not so well. But anyhow, I'm expecting them to do really well, hopefully. But
we are, Jeff. I got some ARK funds as well, so yeah, I understand.
But to your point, and where she's missing the point. They didn't just all of a sudden. It's not just rush. Coinbase all of a sudden, hey, we're gonna roll this out, and hey, you got to pump the brakes a little bit because it's way too quick. The SEC didn't even come out that way because the SEC basically came out and said, if you launch it anyways, we're gonna sue you. Right? If you don't listen to us, we're filing a lawsuit. Who does that? In what world? If there was just a notice to say, hey, we want to discuss, they would come, hey, we want to discuss. But when Coinbase reached out to them and said, hey, we want to discuss this, we want to go over it with you, and they say, oh, nobody on the other end.
Here's a Wells notice. Here's a Wells notice.
No one there. Yeah. We want to discuss. Okay, here's your Wells notice. And if you don't shut it down, we're going to sue you. We're going to sue your ass. And
this is the face of Gary Gensler's SEC, though, Jeff.
That's right. Now we figured out Berserker's been doing a lot of research out there, and he determined exactly what the course was titled when people registered for it. It was called BTC Indoctrination Course.
The MIT BTC. So the
MIT.
I wanted to throw this up here because this right here, here's another case of where we see, so James Filan put this out saying the SEC filed a motion to compel Ripple to produce video and audio recordings of the staff meetings it claims to have learned about from a key former Ripple employee in a deposition. I mean, who's that? Garlinghouse? They deposed Garlinghouse. So they're saying a key former Ripple employee. Is this Jen McHale? Who is the former person? We don't know who that is. I don't think it really much matters, but they did depose a lot of different people. And the deposition was taken earlier this month. So we're talking about general recordings from the fourth quarter of 2014. These were the meetings with SBI. and a friend, it says, and probably Katao, but Ripple and a Japanese financial conglomerate entered into a partnership in 2016. And as part of that agreement, they created this joint venture called SBI Ripple Asia, right? And SBI said in December that the commission's claim would not affect the status of the XRP token, which you brought up, Jeff. It doesn't have anything to do with it. But according to publication of Array of Records, also includes discussions by Ripple employees of the SEC investigation. This was December 22nd of 2020. The company's prospects in light of the XRP price drop and the centralization cryptocurrencies. The parties discussed the exact amount of documents during the meeting. So what are we seeing a lot of what's happening here, Jeff, which I find a little bit disturbing. How many times has the judge told the SEC to turn over the documents, right? And then they're still trying to hold some sort of privilege, saying, well, either they weren't important officials, a commissioner wasn't important enough, but yet they're trying to explain it away. But every chance that Ripple has, they've been reaching out there and they've been turning over these documents, right? So now they're going to turn over meetings or bottom line, I don't think Ripple has anything whatsoever to hide. I don't think they care really. But to me, this whole one-sidedness, at some point, it's going to wear very thin on the judge, because Judge Netburn is not going to put up with this. The fact that the SEC is not complying, they don't care that they're the SEC. She's the judge. She's going to say, hey, turn over the stuff. They're not turning it over. So
I got to see this one first. I'll get to that, the one from John, but cup my handle, Kathy. You got to love that. If cup with a handle, you get it on the stock.
Cup with a handle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cup my
So,
handle.
yeah. So we've got John Gill, Gary, the crypto friend.
Yeah, he's your
Appreciate
friend
you,
in
John.
crypto. He taught a course.
He's
He keeps
your friend,
telling
all
us.
right. He's your friend, all right.
Swarmy, man. Swarmy.
Arturo Cuevas. SEC is above the law. So judge, relax. You're nothing. Yeah, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Oh my God. Here's Laurel. Do you guys think the SEC will turn over the documents tomorrow? There you go.
No, they won't. No, I do not think they'll turn it tomorrow. I don't think it'll turn out, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And then September 9th, you had Jeremy Hogan drew attention to the SEC's clarification. It said, according to the documentation before going to court, the regulator did not publicly call XRP a security. And so he put that tweet out saying, well, that's officially legally admitted. The commission acknowledges that prior to filing the case, certain third parties were interested in XRP legal status. However, in response, the commission did not express its opinion in one way or the other. Well, of course they did it. That's what the whole thing is about. They can't give it a damn opinion. 8 years went by. Nobody knew. And so we're reminded in December 2020, the SEC accused Ripple and its leaders of an unregistered security sales under the guise of XRP tokens for $1.3 billion. Later, the regulator adjusted the lawsuit, focusing on the actions of Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, which I think, Jeff, was a tremendous mistake, because remember they called them they're reckless, and well, what do they have to do with anything?
You're so reckless.
And so, are you suing the company of Ripple? And again, what do individuals have to do with the company? It's like, hey, and they never separated that. And if they didn't charge the Larson or Garlinghouse with fraud, what's that all about anyway? Who cares? Why would you even do that? They were reckless. You can yell a bunch of things. I can think of a few colorful words I'd like to yell at Gensler, but bottom line is you got to go into a court of law and prove it. Well, how are they runs? They were reckless because nobody knew for 8 years. And they had started working with 3 years with you prior to this whole thing. They had all kinds of discovery. That lawsuit that dropped, people say, oh yeah, it was on the last day. Listen, that dropped on the last day, but that's 3 years of compilation right there.
This is funny. We missed this before, but Jesse said, hey, let's talk. You're sued. You're sued now.
That pretty much sums it up right there, Jesse.
Surprised, yeah. Hey, can we talk? No.
Oh, we can talk. Boom, you're sued.
Boom, you're sued.
Here's a
You've been
Wells notice,
served.
buddy. Here's a Wells notice, and it's impending. And you just wait, dude, because you dealt with the wrong person. I'm Gary Gensler.
You guys should never have created Coinbase. You guys should never have invested in anything except for Bitcoin.
You know what? Here's what I'm thinking right now.
Gary! Gary!
I just
Yeah,
love that
it's so
clip.
loud.
It's super loud. I don't know why that's so damn loud in my ears. Sorry, guys. If we carried you a little too hard there on that one, but that, unfortunately, that's just the way that cookie crumbles sometimes, man. But
again, a huge shout out to Hans Loaded right there. It's so awesome to have you guys back. Thank you and the rest of the OTC family in here for making every show great. I love that.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for the OTC family, man, we got the smartest people of all YouTube crypto space, and they all gather here at night, you know. And so
like I said, it's great to be back with the living. You know, when you're living with the COVID, you know, and you got the that was like, there were days where I knew I needed to send an email. I knew exactly what I wanted to say. I couldn't put it together. That's kind of like the sort of brain that I had. It was like foggy. It reminds me of someone that's running the country right now in the United States. Just couldn't put it together. Knew what I needed to do, just could not do it. And so that foggy brain, luckily, because I'm on so many supplements and take good care of myself, it didn't hit me that hard. I didn't have the breathing issues, and, you know, very thankful for all that. But just the fog brain.
And you might have had some antibodies beforehand. You know, nobody knows. You're running around.
Knows.
So I got tested yesterday and I have antibodies, you know, so that means that at some point over the past year and a half, I have come in contact with it. And who knows, you know, I might have had it for a day, might have had it for a day and a half. I don't know, but I've got the antibodies, and the antibodies are naturally occurring, you know, so, but that's a whole nother conversation. We don't want to get into that.
No, we don't want, let's leave out a positive note here. Jeff, we broadcast how many days per week?
First of all, we got to answer Jimmy the Meek. Jimmy, big supporter over there. Settlement or no settlement?
I don't know what there is to settle, quite honestly. And one of the things we're not going to get through a settlement. Now, what a summary judgment from the judge, potentially. I see that. Now, that's not necessarily the same as a settlement where two sides come together and they sort of agree to, like, figure things out. Okay, we're going to fine you for this. We're going to do this and that. But at the end of the day, if we don't come out of this with, hey, today's XRP is not a security, and the same light that Hinman gave a speech about ETH, to me, I don't really see where the settlement comes from. I don't see it, and it has to go the distance. I know this was an unfortunate thing, but guess what? We've been waiting for 8 years. How many more years would this have gone on for? And the Ripple case will become the Ripple test, and the Ripple test will prevail because, and at the end of the day, decentralized ledger, decentralized asset, Ripple's over here building software, doing their thing that uses this asset, but they don't control that asset. And the only way they can get anything done is the same way anybody can get anything done on the the XRPL, is they got to put forth an amendment, and they need an 80% consensus. And since Ripple only owns less than 10% of that, they have no effect on the outcome, and they got to be part of that 80% consensus. Jeff, your thoughts?
That's it. I agree, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's magic.
There you go. Go get that shirt, guys.
Go get that shirt. Go load up on these shirts. They might not be around for long. You never know what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, and then you got with this,
try to take the magic away.
And right here, you want to put that, you proudly display that on your vehicle right there. That's about a $4 or $5 item there in the store. That's your On the Chain crew, the Moon Mission Tour, people. Established in 2021, we are headed to the moon. Never forget why you invested in digital assets, Jeff. We're heading there together. We're going to jump in, get in, losers. We're all headed to the moon.
Seth, I've even heard David Schwartz numerous times stating that they just needed to be given clarity regulations to comply to. The SEC gave Bitcoin and Ethereum clarity. Why only them? And really then they try to back out of that, which we've said many times. They're like, oh no, that was just in their personal capacity. That wasn't anybody operating in official capacity, even though on their podium it said big SEC on their podium, and they're invited there. But that's a solid point that Seth brings up numerous times. Hey, give us some clarity. We want to comply. It's not that we're here operating outside of in the gray zone. We want to drive our car on the right side of the road, and we want to do the speed limit within a buffer of about 10 miles an hour or so. And we want to make, and we just want to make sure we're complying. And then the SEC is like, get out of here.
Driven with Jeff. Jeff's got a little of a heavy foot, guys. I'm just letting you know, okay? Just a little, not saying anything. I'm just like, he likes to go fast. That's what I'm telling you, man. And that big ass truck of his. So, anyway, guys, we broadcast 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then Jeff is added solo on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. And guys, we are back. It's great to be back. Thank you for all the well wishes. We're going to continue to generate the show. So let's see what we have for you guys tomorrow night in the way of, there you go, like, subscribe, click that notification bell. Click it. That's the way you can help. Share the show is the best way you can help us. So far, we're up 100 subs in the last month, Jeff. It's our lowest number ever, guys. If you're here for the first time, please like, subscribe. It does help to get the show out there to other people so they can enjoy it, or they can just say, hey, I'm subscribed, but I don't feel like watching you guys tonight. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Too.
We like that. We want to bring you guys in, and you guys are so smart. It'd be really cool if you guys just help us find, a couple more smart people. That's it.
Just pick them out of the crowd.
We can share a little bit. We want to keep it, within the family. But we got 245 people here right now. If each one of you can find one more smart person and bring them along, how cool would that be? It'd be so cool. But anyhow,
that's it.
Amazing. You guys are awesome.
We're out of here. Jeff, Chip, out of here. We will see you tomorrow night. Hopefully, we'll have some nice highlights from Mr. Gary Gensler.
Hey, he got it. So
doesn't want to go fast. Just wants to be first. That damn right he does. He wants to always be first. That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. Okay, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.